The looking glass self will be illustrated in the following scene. The looking glass self is when individuals base their sense of self on how they believe others view them, and is a concept created by Charles Horton Cooley. It involves three key elements. First, we imagine how we appear to the other person. Second, we interpret what he or she must think and imagine his or her judgment of us. Third, our imagined response to his or her judgment calls forth some sort of self-feeling.
Hi, I hope you have some time to look at the menu. What would you like to order today?
I would like to have the steak sandwich as well as a lobster roll.
Yeah, I'd love to have the beef tenderloin, shrimp salad, and a lobster roll as well. Actually, could I just take the shrimp salad instead and not the rest?
Erica started ordering several items, but pauses because she sees Liam's surprised expression. Liam was surprised that Erica also orders the lobster roll because it's his favorite dish. But in Erica's point of view, when Liam seems surprised, Erica imagines that he's surprised by the amount of food she's ordered. This is the example of the first key element of Cooley's concept, because she imagines how she appears to him. Additionally, due to gendered body ideals, Erica thinks that Liam is judging her on how much she ordered, since society's gendered body ideals dictate that women shouldn't eat too much and should be slim. This would be the second step, where we interpret what he or she must think and imagine his or her judgment of us. After all these interpretations, Erica feels embarrassed because on this imagined response of Liam's judgment, and this lowers her self-confidence, changing her sense of self. She therefore changes her behavior based on what she felt he thought of her, which demonstrated the last principle element of the looking glass self. As this conversation illustrates, the looking glass self is not an exact reflection of other people's judgments of them, because Liam didn't judge her appetite. Rather, it is an imagined reflection built from cues gathered from others, just like Erica pictured Liam judging her from the cue and internalized this imagination.
Of course, for you, sir, the steak sandwich and the lobster roll. For you, ma'am, we have the shrimp salad.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Perfect.
I wonder if she's ordering less because she wants the date to end earlier. Is it because I mentioned my ex-girlfriend? If only I hadn't said that earlier.
Liam wonders if she didn't end up ordering as much because she isn't enjoying herself and wants to end the date quicker. He wonders if it's because of his earlier comment about his ex-girlfriend and wishes that he hadn't said that. As we can see, the looking glass self is not a one-way process, but rather a two-way process. In the words of Cooley,
"The imaginations which people have of one another are the solid facts of society and of self."
Therefore, one individual takes cues of the other person to evaluate themselves, and the other individual also does this. In this situation, Erica evaluates herself based on an imagined judgment from Liam. Afterwards, Liam evaluates himself based on her reaction to the imagined judgment from him. He evaluates himself by wondering if he had said something wrong earlier, causing her to want to end the date quickly by ordering less. As we can see highlighted from this scenario, the looking glass self is highly subjective when it comes to evaluating the self. This is because the images we form of ourselves from imagining what others think about us are based on our own interpretations of other people's cues. In relation of looking glass self, the dramaturgical analysis, we can see how the people we interact with shape the roles we play. Depending on how we view their responses to our performance on the stage, we may consider playing our roles differently to project a certain image. Our performance goal in a certain scenario is to be successful at controlling the line of interaction. When we imagine and reflect on others' responses on stage, we reevaluate and change our opinions of our own performances in order to fit in the scene. This is how the self is manufactured during different situations and moments.